I am now creating weekly exclusive content for Patreon, so if you are interested in that, go check out the link down below. And of course, if you want to avoid the random lottery of FIFA points, you want to go straight to the source, buy the players directly, use u7buy.com and use the code TVM at checkout. What is going on, guys? TVM here. Welcome back to another video, and this is basically an echo of my 6 PM content last night. I've had a little sit down and a cool down and a think about it, and I'm basically going to go over what I'm not happy about right now in FIFA and what I would love to see changed, and maybe some new implementations going into FIFA 21. It's basically just going to be a little sit down, 10-minute little discussion about a few things. I'm not going to get heated. I am maybe going to sound salty and negative and what have you, but it's only because I care. If I didn't care, I wouldn't be here making the video. It would be yet another player review. We'd sort of gloss over the cracks and carry on as we are, right? Now, don't get me wrong. I will still continue to do player reviews and Road to Glories and what have you, but let's take a little time out and have a discussion about this. Now, there are more important things going on in the world right now. This is a video game at the end of the day, so there's only so much moaning we can do about it, but seeing as how that's what this channel is, and when we don't talk about other stuff on this channel other than football and FIFA and all the rest of it, so why change the habit of a lifetime? And we'll continue to talk about it. So just know that I am aware of everything else going on in the world right now, but we're here to talk about FIFA. That's why you've clicked the video, right? So yesterday, EA basically down tools and said, thanks, but we're off. So they've dropped 2 of the exact same SBC back to back, the deluxe team of the season. I mean, I've cooled down. That video last night went live. I took time, and here we are again, right? But I'm still just bewildered by the lack of they're just so, I hate the term out of touch, but they are so out of touch. Or they know what we want, but they don't care because they know we'll still continue to plow money into the game, time into the game, and even though we complain and we moan and we say, oh, I'm never playing this game again, an hour later, 2 hours later, maybe the next day, we're back on it again because we cannot help ourselves. The reason for that is because it's a football game, and okay, there are other football games out there, PES being one of them, but let's be honest, unless you're a hardcore PES fan, you don't consider that game even close to what FIFA is because of the licensing, the accessibility to it, the way that it plays. There's so many different reasons. Even the menus, for as much of the complaining I've done this year about FIFA's menus, they are so much better than PES menus. That aside, Football Manager is another game that I think is better than FIFA hands down, but because you can't physically play it, there's something missing there. I want to be able to play and control most of the time. So even though I love Football Manager, and I would very happily be a Football Manager YouTuber, the views just are not there, unfortunately, I still feel that urge to go and play FIFA, okay? So that's why we keep coming back to it, because it is the best football game we have. And it's not because we love the game, it's because we love football, right? So that's why we keep coming back. But EA have the monopoly, therefore we can't go anywhere else. We are forced to play their game, almost. Now with that, and the fact that they've made ridiculous amounts of money purely from the Ultimate Team game mode alone, not even the game sales, not other games, just from Ultimate Team, it's over $1 billion in revenue, which is just unbelievable. Can you imagine if they hadn't invented Ultimate Team, or introduced it rather? I mean, they'd be $1 billion down right now on where they are. It's just mad, and the lack of communication and sort of in touch with where they are with what we want is just mind-boggling. Yesterday, I was expecting an Ultimate Team of the Season pack. There were suggestions that maybe we would get a pick, which I thought would be a little bit too far. I mean, don't get me wrong, I would have loved that. That would have been incredible. But I didn't expect it. Not for 1 second did I think they're going to give us a pick of 5 cards, and I'm going to go and be able to get 1 of 5 of those Ultimate Team of the Season cards, because that Team of the Season is a very good Team of the Season for the most part. Yeah, okay, there are a couple of players put in there to trip you up, right? So, and I say that to trip you up. Trip you up in what sense? Because I thought that they were added for the Ultimate Pack, right? So if I scroll down my list and I get to... I'm not going to get to see the Ultimate Team of the Season, but there's Sommer and there's Hummels in there, and I thought that they added those players just because they wanted to trip people up with the Ultimate Pack. They didn't want everyone getting Atal, Messi, Ronaldo, and all the rest of those big names. I know Atal isn't a big name, you know what I mean? Like he's a phenomenal card and he's very expensive. That's why and he was on my screen when I was talking about it. But yeah, they don't want you to pack those cards consistently. They want you to hit Sommers and things like that, right? So that's why I thought they put him in there. But if they're not going to issue an Ultimate Pack, why did they even bother putting Sommer and the likes of Hummels in there? They could have filled them with even better cards. You know, I don't really get it. Unless, of course, tonight we do get an Ultimate Pack. I digress. They released that Deluxe Team of the Season pack 2 days in a row, and I would not be surprised to see it again tonight. And I wouldn't be surprised if they extended Team of the Season by another week, issued Player Moments cards, or Team of the Season Moments cards, I should say, for players who could potentially have made the Team of the Season this year, and extended the Team of the Season by another week by just keeping the Ultimate Team of the Season in packs, as well as potentially Rest of the World. They might even say, I mean, this is, again, a little bit generous. I'd love this, though. This would be really fun if they said, look, all of the minor leagues are back in packs again. And, of course, we'll keep the Ultimate in packs as well. So that would be really good. I would thoroughly enjoy opening packs because the chances of you getting Team of the Seasons, I mean, don't get me wrong, they probably wouldn't be worth an awful lot. You'd be packing 90-plus rated Colombian Team of the Season cards that are worth about 20k, but it's still a little bit of enjoyment when you open a pack, right? And if they discard for 10, 15k, it's a little bit better than packing their base version. So I'd be all for that. I would even welcome, and obviously I'd welcome this a little bit more, if they said every single Team of the Season is in packs for 1 week. That would kind of maybe make up for the Ultimate a little bit. Not quite, but in my mind I'd be like, well, now it's time to grind some League SBCs and get some rewards on the go, right? But anyway, that's what I'm expecting on Friday, for them to say Team of the Season's out for another week. I wouldn't be surprised if we had this Deluxe Team of the Season for every day, which is just stupid. It's too expensive for the chances of you packing an 88 or just a useless goalkeeper or something that you just don't want. The chances of you hitting a card you actually care about from that Deluxe Team of the Season pack is, I mean, I would genuinely love a percentage. It has to be under 20%. It has to be. Even less than that maybe, because there's only a handful of players from the top 5 leagues that you'd go mad over, I think. Well, maybe a little bit more than a handful, but still. So FIFA 20 has let me down in more than just the SBCs. The objectives as well. Some of them have been really good. In fact, a lot of the objectives actually have been really good. The Milestones section, it's a good start in a way. They gave up halfway through, which didn't really make an awful lot of sense to me, seeing as how people were genuinely excited for new seasons. Every time they dropped milestone content, I say every time, the first time they dropped like players, we were like, oh my god, this is class, let's keep it going. I remember when they dropped it and I was like, wow, we've got something to grind for, you know? You don't often have that. You have the grind to get a better team, then you've got the grind to get the SBCs on the go and the League SBC method and all that good stuff. But this year we had milestones, and I liked that, but they stunted the growth of it quite quickly. So they spread them out big time, which I wasn't a fan of, put them behind a time wall, and then they said, look, we will allow you to upgrade these over time, but at our time, you know, our pace. We'll tell you when we'll allow you to do that. And when they did, the upgrades were negligible, which is a shame. There are other things in there which I actually preferred, you know, the 200 foot champs wins and 300 foot champs and rivals and squad battles. I love those, but what I would love to have seen, and potentially what I'd love to see in FIFA 21, is an extension of that. So it just, it keeps going. So 400, 500, 600 to 700 wins. I've seen a lot of people with more games than ever this year, especially with the way that everything went and people were stuck inside. There are a lot of games that have been played that I'm sure wouldn't have been played. Obviously, they can't anticipate that, but it would have been nice to have something there to keep going for. But I want to see the same things for goals and assists, maybe even games played, online games played, offline games played, friendly matches played. Clean sheets, for example, would be fantastic, so that it would kind of stop people doing that boost. You know, like you go into a game and someone, I mean, sometimes it can help you out, right? But when I'm trying to review players and there's an objective card on the go, I'll go into a game, someone will score an own goal against me, or, you know, for me, if that makes sense. And then they'll expect me to allow them to score because they want to show you, look, I'm not here to play. I want you to help me do this objective. I understand that. I appreciate it. And sometimes maybe it would help me. But when I'm trying to play or I just want to play the game, I don't want that. So I continue to play. And then either they end up leaving or they stay and they, I don't know, sometimes expect me to help them out or whatever. But it would stop that, wouldn't it? Because people would be trying to get clean sheets and they could give us rewards based on that. But also specific like player unlocks that you can only get for doing this sort of thing. You know, like the milestones, they give you the Politano and stuff. Do one for goals, do ones for assists, do ones for cold sheets? No, clean sheets. I do like some cold sheets, you know, on a hot summer's eve. But no, that's not, clean sheets is what I was going for. Those type of things. I'd love those, you know, like unlock a particular goalkeeper. Like, they could put icons in there. So bring David Seaman back into the game, give him a 97 rated moments or milestone card, and then say, look, if you keep 250 clean sheets in online game modes, then you get to unlock this David Seaman card. You would be in there looking at defending tutorials. Okay, maybe as soon as you concede you might be out of there, but then again you've got the goal scoring ones and the assists and things like that to go for. So there's loads of stuff to work for, and I would love that. And after you unlock the player, maybe it resets and you go again, but instead of the player this time, you get a pack at the end of it, or milestones with packs along the way, and just things like that. I just want a reason to go into a game. And if I'm losing like 6-0, I want a reason to stay. Like sometimes I'm thinking, well, I'm losing 6-0, I'm off, I'm just going to leave. I'm losing 3-0, nah, sorry, I'm out of it. If there was a reason, well, if I can get a goal here, I can maybe chip away at this, or at least if I can, you know, get an assist, then I can chip away at this. That would be really good. I'd like to see that. I need more in the way of milestones. There just needs to be more. I could sit here and talk about a few other things here or there, but to be fair, in terms of just menus in general, because we haven't really touched on the gameplay side of things, I just want exclusive unlockable cards that are either there for maybe a week, and then they're gone, or maybe they're there forever, or maybe they're there for the season, but I want more of them. There's not enough variety. The cards they release are not generally good enough for the time of year that they come out. You know, that Gabriel Jesus, for example, if that came out before Team of the Season, maybe in January, you'd be thinking to yourself, yeah, I actually wouldn't mind getting to level 30 and unlocking that card because it does actually look good. But after Team of the Season comes out, when you get all these like I packed a Mobile earlier, I don't care. He's not good enough for me anymore because I have cards that are better, right? That Gabriel Jesus isn't even as good as a Mobile. That card would not get in my reserves for the bench, let alone the bench or even the starting 11. So I know for some people a Mobile would go in your team and you can't wait to get the Gabriel Jesus. But for the majority of people, I just don't think that card is good enough. There are cards out there that are like 30, 40k that are better than that Gabriel Jesus. That Togan player, Labber, he is 91 rated, which I think is the same rating as Gabriel Jesus, maybe a little bit under. But he is 35k, and he's better than Gabriel Jesus. Not in real life, obviously, but in FIFA, he is. He just is, right? So there we go. Go buy him and don't worry about the season. That's, yeah. That's just, I don't know what that was. Not necessarily an outburst, just something I want to see, a bit of gameplay in the background. I am actually enjoying the gameplay right now, believe it or not. I'm more than happy to sit down and have a more in-depth discussion about gameplay and what I'd like to see improved there. We are getting EA Play at some point in the next week, so we might see some sort of engine gameplay there, and we might get a little glimpse of what they're planning. But normally what happens with Ultimate Team is they tend to save it for the end of July, beginning of August time, so we might have to wait a little bit longer for that. But if you want to see more of this type of thing where we just have a sit-down discussion about FIFA, maybe I can pick up some comments for the next one, then just drop a comment, let me know. If you have enjoyed the video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and until the next time, goodbye.
Football Index, the game changed. Download the app now.